So, YouTube, Twitch, for anyone who doesn't know, 2 weeks ago, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer now, I bought a Hori Fighting Edge, but not for the purposes of owning the Fighting Edge. It is one of the sticks that I've wanted for a while, but I mainly bought it because it had a lever that a style lever I've never tried before, right? I've tried American levers because I used to play in the American arcades that still existed here when I was a kid for a little bit, right? Soul Calibur 2, Tekken Tag, my bad, not Tekken Tag 2, Tekken Tag, and Tekken 4, right? And a little bit of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but mainly, I've played on Japanese levers almost my whole life, right? And this is the Crown New Help Me lever, and it is what was inside, or still is, inside of this Hori Fighting Edge that I bought, okay? Now, this is full opinion piece for anyone who loves Korean levers. This is no slight on Korean levers. There's nothing inherently wrong with them for other people, but I have found a few issues with K-lever. And it's just for me, right? So the grommet is very nice. Like, I like how the resistance gets more the further you go. That's pretty cool. I'm actually a big fan of that. The only thing that I'm not a big fan of is the spin. I'm sorry, there's two things. The spin is very weird on the bat top. And this is probably one of the better bat tops like that doesn't spin as much. I've heard there's bat tops that spin way more. And also, there's no gate. Right, if you played on American lever that has gates, or you played on Japanese levers that come from a square gate, or you have an octagate or a circle gate in your stick, and that's what you're used to, it's gonna be very, very strange, right? Within like 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, I've had this thing. There's been multiple instances where I thought that, yeah, I've been playing on stick for years, dude. I know where all my directions are, and I'd be like, I'm holding down back. Let's fucking go. I'm blocking this shit. Yeah, I'm fucking sitting, holding down back in the corner in Dragon Ball, and then I get hit with the low, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? So, because all you're doing is you're just moving the switches. All you're doing is you're hitting this little metal plate that like hits the switches. If you're not properly in the corner, what happens is you end up missing either the back or the down on the switches, right? What you're missing is the back, right? So because of that, you end up missing a lot of your blocks. It doesn't usually happen during circular motions, during rolls, right? During like DPs, during half circles, quarter circles. That stuff didn't really happen to me. As a matter of fact, most of my quarter circles, DPs, and things like that felt way better on Korean lever than they ever have on Japanese lever. Okay, I'm gonna be quite honest. But I've been playing a lot of 2D fighters. I've been trying to learn a lot of 2D fighters. Right? I've been playing a lot more of them. I've been playing Marvel Infinite, I'm playing Killer Instinct, Dragon Ball. Most importantly, Guilty Gear Strive, and DNF Duel when that comes out. Luckily, DNF Duel has a block button, so this won't be that much of an issue, right? But in those games, you have to hold down back to block a lot of things that are coming at you, right? Especially lows. Lows are very powerful, right? They're quick options that can lead to full combos in a lot of these games. And it's not something you just want to end up getting hit by because your stick isn't the way that you are used to. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with K-levers. I personally, if you can find one of these in stock, and you don't have that issue, and you're actually super sick about knowing exactly where your directions are, I recommend this lever. I like almost everything about this lever. I like it more than a stock Sanwa, okay? I'll admit that now. I'm a big fan of the Hori Hayabusa lever and the Zenitsu levers. The LS40, the LS40 Silent Edition, and the LS32. LS56 is pretty good too. But I'm a big fan of those levers. And this is somewhere in that list of good levers. The only thing that is very strange is if you are not accustomed to Korean lever, you're going to miss your directionals when you're trying to hold them. At least for the first 2 weeks, right? This is like first 2 weeks, early impressions. It does give me some issues, and that's like the real issue that kills it for me. The spin I can get used to, right? But not getting my directions really sucks. This also is very different from like your traditional Japanese levers because it wires the same way that some Seimitsu levers wire. And I guess I'll get this bad boy out. This thing's retired. I've said it enough times. Don't expect to see me playing on my TE2 anymore. But this has a Seimitsu silent lever in it. And it wires like this. There's a power and a ground for all 4 directions, and that's how you're gonna have to wire it up inside of your stick. And if you don't get it right, just undo them all and make sure you have up as up, down is down, left is left, and right is right. And if it's not the right way, then you just gotta spin all the connectors. It's that easy, right? You need a special adapter to do it. You need like a Japanese compatible to .187 pin connector, right? And it's that easy. They cost like $5 or something. Once you get something like that, You can fit that bad boy in a Japanese stick, at least the ones that are at least deep enough, right? There are going to be some Japanese sticks that are probably too thin, right? Kamajone's not fitting a K-lever. It's not happening, right? The Hori Fighting Stick Alpha, my favorite stick right now, probably not fitting a K-lever. So luckily I have this fighting edge, and it was very nice to like learn on it. I'll probably still be trying it every now and then, every once in a while, but I don't think the K-lever should remain. But hopefully this little review will let you know if it's right for you. Maybe you won't have those issues. It's a $40 lever if you can find it. It's not too terribly expensive. When it comes to Japanese, when it comes to Korean levers, it's not like a golden lever or anything, or a knee lever, right? Or something by IST that's like really expensive. This is actually a very nice, I've been told that this is a very nice starter lever. If there's something you want to use to get into Korean levers, this is a good start. Anyways, if you like the content, like all the mini reviews I do of arcade sticks and arcade stick hardware and all the gameplay that I put on the channel, haven't been posting too much of that, opinion pieces and whatnot, feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below about what levers you use and if you think a Korean lever might be right for you. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTube, signing out and saying